on the Water has been brought to you by Here we are on board Lionheart with Geoff Middo Middleton. Middo, welcome.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's great to be here. Beautiful day.
Oh, it is absolutely fantastic out on Port Phillip Bay. Now, you're the editor of Trader Boat magazine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for my sins. It's a great job. Get to muck around with boats and get paid for it. Fantastic.
Well, there are other boating magazines out there, but Trader Boat is the biggest selling publication in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're it's a bit of an institution, really, known as the Book of Dreams.
I know I've got many back issues, mate, having a look at the various types of boats for sale in it, and it's got plenty of good advice, insider industry and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, we run a substantial editorial section where we test boats, and we've got a buying used section where we feature a used boat. So and we do engines and electronics and news and products, and it's basically all there.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant magazine. Now, we're on board Lionheart. This boat has got a fair bit of history to it, hasn't it?
Oh, it's got a heap of history, KV. I think it's probably the best known boat in Melbourne, if not Australia. It was a tremendous feat that Jessie Martin did when he sailed single-handed and unassisted around the world at the age of 17.
Absolutely brilliant. And you managed to come across this boat floating off a swing mooring, you were telling me.
Yeah, I was in the market for a boat, and not necessarily this one, but something around this size that I could comfortably handle just with my wife and myself. And one of the chaps at the yacht club suggested that I have a look at Lionheart. And initially I had a bit of a laugh about it. I thought, no, I've seen that boat collecting bird crap off a swing mooring at the end of Sandringham Yacht Club, but it's in pretty poor state of repair. But I got in touch with Jessie and went and had a look, and basically everything was there, and I thought, well, with a bit of TLC and a fair swag of dough, it'll come up all right.
And, as we just said, you've bought a piece of Australian yachting history. Now, 17 years old, he took over, 300 and something days to traverse the world?
Yeah, just under a year, I believe. And he lived on this boat, it's not a very big boat, and had to take all his food and had to collect water and basically sail in all kinds of conditions. He went round Cape Horn, the dreaded Cape Horn, and managed that okay. And, he got rolled over a few times, and, it was really a great adventure. If you ever get to have a look at the book, or even I think he's put out a DVD.
Yep.
It's a fascinating story, and I'd recommend that to any kid in Australia.
Oh, what, travelling around the world, or just getting out and getting amongst it, you think, and just getting into doing something that's a bit out there?
No, reading the book, mate.
Reading the book? No, you don't sort of advocate sailing around the world solo unassisted.
It's not for everyone.
No, it certainly isn't. And you've got to admire the young man. He's up north in some of the islands there somewhere running a tour, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did a bit of work for us on Trader Boat, actually. He had a column for a while. But as I understand it, he's got a catamaran out of New Guinea, and he's running charters out of there. So he's still adventuring.
Good on the young man. You've got to admire that. Now, tell us a little bit about this particular boat. What size is it, and give us a few details on it.
It's a 34-footer. It's called an S&S 34. The S&S is for Sparkman and Stevens, who designed it. They're an American design company, and strangely, this boat, they're still making them to this day. And the first one was sailed by Sir Edward Heath, who was a British Prime Minister. And in fact, he won the Sydney Hobart yacht race outright in that boat called Morning Cloud in I think it was 1968.
So, well, you're not only an editor and an avid yotter, you're also a bloody good historian, mate.
Yeah. But it is interesting that they're still making them now at Swarbricks in Western Australia, where this particular boat was built, and they're doing quite well in IRC racing as well as creating a fantastic cruising boat that's very seaworthy. So they're a well-known boat. There's been plenty of them made. This one was made in 1980.
Yep.
And I've had to do a bit of restoration work on it, but she's still good, and we still win races and have a hell of a good time. Well, this boat's completely set up so that you really don't have to go to the mast. All of the jammers that control the halyards and and all your sail controls are all here coming back to the cockpit.
Yep.
We've got self-tailing winches here, as you see. No winches on the mast, so theoretically you don't have to go to the mast unless you want to put the kite up.
And I notice you've also got built-in stubby holders on the stanchions.
They come in handy from time to time on the hot days down here, mate. Yeah.
I'm sure they do. So what sort of modifications have you done or repairs have you done to the boat since you bought it?
Well, when I got it, as I say, it was in pretty bad shape. Initially we took it out of the water and made sure that everything under the waterline was A-OK. Did quite a bit of work. We dynel sheathed the keel. We re-anti-fouled it, and we lowered down the waterline because the waterline was pretty high because Jessie had it loaded to the gunnels with food and such. We've repainted all the deck in original colours to keep the boat as original as possible.
Yep.
We've put on a new suit of Horizon sails, and the poor old engine wasn't in good shape, so we got a new Yanmar 3-cylinder Yanmar diesel.
Yep.
29 horsepower, and put that in it. So because I figured that we do need a bit of punch for Port Phillip Bay. It can get a bit nasty out here.
Yeah.
We had a 2-cylinder engine before, 22 horsepower, and I thought it just needed a little bit more punch.
Yep.
So we've got that, and 2-bladed gory prop we put on it, folding prop.
Yep.
Makes us a little bit faster through the water if we're racing.
As opposed to a fixed prop, of course.
As opposed to the
fixed blade prop.
Yes, as opposed to the fixed blade prop. But it's a bit of a labour of love, and it's still going on.
Oh, you've done a fantastic job. Now, the cramped conditions that Jessie was living down under there, I was having a look up in the forepeak, and you were telling me earlier off camera that it was stuffed full of food.
That's right. Yeah, the whole forepeak was stuffed full of food. And Jessie slept on the starboard side bunk there, and the rest of the boat was just chockers full of gear. So he didn't have much room to work in.
Oh, jeez, I don't reckon he would have got much sleep either.
I don't think so. I don't think so, especially when it got rough.
Yeah. Middo, thank you very much for taking us out on the bay. It's been a beautiful morning. You couldn't ask for better sailing conditions, just toddling along quite nicely.
Yeah, it's fantastic. In fact, when we go back in, I've got a race after this.
Oh, well, I might join you for that.
Come along, you're more than welcome, mate.
Middo, thanks again, mate.
Pleasure, Cavey.
On the Water has been brought to you by